Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in on this very early in the morning session, right? So I thought this one would be more laid back. As you see my pillow right here in the background, and I have my little fairy lights. So I kind of wanted you guys to join in because I really wanted to know what your thoughts were around this hot topic. Main chick, side chick, or neither, right? So come on, y'all. Let's just talk about it. Let's talk about it. It's early Saturday morning, right? We're not even asleep. We're up and we're going to discuss it, right? So let's talk about it. Main chick. When you hear the main chick, what are you really thinking? What is the main chick? Put it in the comments. Okay? You are absolutely correct. Main chick could be the wife. It could be the main lady that this person has been talking to for maybe over a year. So they're considered the main chick, right? The person has asked this person to actually be in a committed relationship with them will be considered what? The main chick, right? Okay. That is absolutely correct. Okay. So what about side chick? When you hear side chick, what are your thoughts? Okay. So side chick is like the person who is not in a committed relationship with that said person, right? So it could be a person that the other person is really talking to on the side, right? Because it's a side chick. It's not the main chick. So that means that person is talking to them maybe when they weren't supposed to be talking to them. Because if you're in a committed relationship, then technically you really don't supposed to have a side chick, right? Y'all help me out. Because now I'm going to tell you, disclaimer, this is no judgment zone. If you a side chick, hey, you a side chick, right? This is not that. This is not that. I'm not coming on here trying to bash nobody. This is not what this is for. I just was hearing main chick versus side chick, and I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts about it. Like, is it any benefits to that? Do you feel that the side chick is wrong? Because sometimes the side chick know that person has a main chick, right? So let's just put it out there. Or do you just feel like neither main chick nor side chick, right? So I wanted to pose this question, and I posed this question earlier when I was asking for single divorced women. How do you feel about the main chick versus side chick? Or do you have no feelings about it at all, right? Because a lot of times when you are starting over and when you getting back into the dating scene, sometimes you see a whole lot of stuff. And because I am 1 year divorced, I see a lot. I see a lot of things. Now, I'm going to tell you. Now, for my Bible believers or my Christians, I know I was raised in the church. So I know we were taught that is so wrong. There is no such thing or as a side chick, right? If you're married, you supposed to be committed to that person and not have a side person, side chick, side dude, nobody's sides, right? But I'm not even getting religions. I'm not even going that route with that. I just want to kind of just get your thoughts about it, just in conversation. on this early Saturday morning and just kind of have conversations with you. So let me just tell you a little bit about what I have noticed, right? So as a person that was divorced, well, I am divorced, that was married before, I was considered the main chick, right? I was the main chick. I was the main lady. I was the queen of the house. Now, my spouse decided to have them a side chick, right? That I found out about. Now, whether or not it was physical, whether or not it was a continuous thing, but it was emotional. You know, that's the thing too, right? People have emotional connections with side pieces or side chicks or side persons that sometimes can lead to a physical thing, right? And sometimes we don't want to address that. But when you emotionally connected to somebody, it can lead to something physical that can really destroy your relationship or your marriage. But I just kind of wanted to talk about that because I have been approached by married men. Now, ladies, how many of you all have been approached by married men? First of all, they know they married. They know that they are married. But yet and still, some of them want to have a side chick. Now, let me tell you. Sometimes side chicks don't even know that the person is married. I think a lot of times, let's be honest, we really don't really get to know the persons that we're speaking to. Sometimes we get physical with the person without even asking the questions. Because, you know, some married men put their rings up. Some married women put their rings up, right? So to be honest, sometimes you will even never know that they're even married until you really get to know who they are. Then you find out, oh man, you married? So I guess that at that point, you have to decide whether or not you want to be that side chick, right? So it's just a thing now that some married people, whether or not it's a married woman who want a side person or vice versa, right? We got these side pieces going on, whether it's a side chick, side dude, but then you also got the main person, right? The main person that you actually said that you were going to be committed to. Now I'm going to tell you, at one point, now I'm just being real now. We being real tonight, right? This morning, we being real. At one point I thought, hey, so what if I be the side chick? What if I be the side chick? If I be the side chick, then I can get my nails done. I can keep my hair cut low, right? I can get the cell phone bill paid. And then guess what? They can go on back home to their spouse, right? They can go on back home to their wife. They can go on back home to their husband. I ain't got to deal with all of that other stuff. I ain't got to deal with all of that. I just deal with you for the moment and then you going on about your business. How y'all feel about that piece, right? How y'all feel about that? Now, like I stated, at one point I thought that may be cool. But you know what? Sometimes these people come with so much baggage that you know what? I don't even want to be a side piece. Look, if I gotta be a side piece, I don't want to have no headaches dealing with you. But you tell me if you got any benefits. I mean, like I said, I'm not bashing. I'm not doing any of that. Are they in the benefits to being a side chick? Now, I heard that a lot of times people tell the side chick more about what's going on than they do their main chick. That's something serious, right? So, main chick, side chick. Why are you choosing titles, right? They're never designed to honor you. So just to kind of bring out some little things that I just kind of jotted down, because the truth is neither of those roles benefit you. Now, I asked the question, main chick, side chick, or neither. But to be honest with you, the only title that matters is a woman who chooses herself. And you know, when I had that thought about whether or not I wanted to be the side chick, I really, really thought about that really hard, y'all. Really hard. And you know what? I choose me. I choose me in this season. I choose me. But most women think that being the main means that they won. But what did you win? A man who entertains others, a relationship where you carry the emotional labor, a title that keeps you competing instead of connecting, right? I mean, you are the main chick, but you think you won. But I guess in so many instances you did win, in the sense that they did ask you to be their main chick, right? So you are the main chick. So you are the person that handles all of that other stuff. You're the one that takes on all of that emotional stuff. You the one carry all the burdens when they are broke, when they ain't got nothing, when they this, that. And if you're married to them, that's what the vow said. That's what you actually said, I do too. Now, if you are dating them, if it's not going anywhere, I think you probably need to kind of rethink that situation, right? Rethink that, because a lot of times we be the main chicks for so many years and so long, and we take on other people's issues and other people's burdens and other people's stuff, and we never become Mrs. Nothing, right? Okay, side chick, and being the side, that's nothing but a subscription to heartbreak, delayed pain, quiet moments of questioning your worth. How many times do we actually question our worth when we're the side chick, right? When we're the side chick, a lot of the times, I know for me, I questioned myself. Because back in the day, I was a side piece. I was a side chick, and I didn't even know that that person was married, for real. Because the person told me, the dude told me that he was finna get a divorce. He didn't show me no divorce papers, and that's where I should have asked for the divorce papers to show me proof. But heck, I didn't think that you needed all of that. I mean, I feel like when you grow, when you say you going through a divorce, but the divorce is finna become final because you've been separated from this person, or either you are divorced, I'm thinking that you're going to be able to tell the truth about this. But man, y'all, I'm telling y'all, people lie. People are lying. They're not divorced. They're not even talking about a divorce. That's what I found out about my friend. He lied to me. They were never talking about getting a divorce at all. And when I found out about it, y'all, that you talking about heartbreak, man, you talking about quiet moments of questioning my worth, low self-esteem, and then loving someone who only give you pieces, and they never give you their whole self. Why? Because they out there doing everything else. Look, they may have a main, they may have this side over here on this side of town, a side over there on that side of town, a side over there on that side of town. You never really get the whole person. You may just be one piece of the other piece of the other side. But you know what? Y'all, both roles leave you hungry for more. More attention, more affection, more clarity. Because you know what? Most of the time, they can't even give you that. You asking for more. You know, at one point when I was a side, like I told you, I was a side chick and didn't even know that that person had a main wife, right? I didn't know. I'm telling y'all, for real, I didn't know. And the main chick, the wife got diamonds. But you know what I got? Old regular plastic purse. I couldn't even get a diamond. I couldn't even get a fake diamond. But you know what else I got? I got all their other baggage. I got all of that emotional stuff. When the main chick wasn't doing right, guess what they do? They come over here and try to tell me everything about what the main chick ain't doing. So they expect for the side chick me to do it, right? They expect for the side chicks to do what the main chick ain't gonna do. But when you compete for a man's attention, you lose something else precious, right? You lose your own peace. You lose your peace. Your identity becomes tied to how he sees you. So instead of how you see you, right? Now, some people enjoy being the side piece. If you enjoy being the side piece, you do what you do, right? I mean, I'm not, like I said, hey, no judgment zone. No judgment zone here. But the inconsistency and the lies and the mixed signals, it just gets so confused, right? It can make you really confused, especially if you like that person. And then that person is lying to you saying they're going to divorce the main chick and they're going to be with you, right? But you know what? Nowadays, you can't believe that either. Because the same way they doing the main chick, guess what? If you become the main chick, guess what they gonna do to you? The same thing that they're doing to their main chick they got right now. Oh. Right? So, you know what? They talk about the benefits that nobody talks about by being either main chick, side chick, neither, right? So you're not of being a man, you're not of being a side, but of being a woman who chooses herself, right? So we need to choose ourselves, right? So benefit one is that your standards rise. You stop accepting the crumbs when you deserve the whole meal, right? Y'all, that's a whole lesson on itself. We need to stop accepting these crumbs, these little crumbs that falls on the floor. We come back up and we pick them up and we run with it. Benefit two, you attract better. You don't have to be nobody's side piece if you don't want to. You can be a man. You could be a man. You could be a wife, right? And you could be with somebody who would love you for you. You could be an emotional, healed woman, right? Because emotionally healed women, they don't have to chase that. And you know what? On my healing journey right now, that's why I'm loving this so much. Because I don't have to chase none of that. Because emotionally healed women, they attract men who are ready, who are steady and intentional, right? So benefit three is that you build your peace back. You build your peace piece by piece. You wake up clearer. You sleep better. You smile deeper because your heart is not at war with your mind. You know, a lot of times we fight, against what we already know that we probably shouldn't be doing. But a lot of times we settle. We settle. And then you know what? I asked that next question in which I need to ask that because that's something that could be talked about too, maybe in another time. Is having a piece of man better than having a whole man? Stay tuned for that. Benefit number 4, you stop settling for half love. You finally understand if it doesn't feel like peace and partnership, it's not love, it's attachment, right? So whether or not you the main chick, side chick, or neither, you know what? We got to figure out where we at. Y'all, we got to figure out where we at. We got to figure out where we at. A woman who chooses herself is unstoppable. She becomes a magnet for respect, loyalty, and stability. Not because she demands it, but because she embodies it, right? She embodies it. That means that man knows that, you know what, it's something different about her. It's something different about her that I love. And I would love to get to know. Y'all, so I'm not going to stay on here the whole time. I just wanted y'all to just join me in this conversation because it's real. Like y'all, we talk about on the Unbreakable You, we talk about real life situation. This is real world situation. This is stuff that's happening right here at our front door, right? People that's all around us are dealing with issues such as the main chick versus the side chick, or whether or not it's neither, right? We dealing with this real stuff. And then you know what? And you have to decide if you the main chick, you going to be happy being the main chick. If you the side chick, you going to see whether or not you want to stay the side chick or the side piece, or you want to get rid of it and you want to do something else, right? So, hey, women, single women, divorced women, what are y'all doing? How do y'all feel? Put in the comments. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about this? Thank you so much for tuning in to the Unbreakable You. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe because like I told y'all, we talk about all things real. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.